Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I just filmed another video of like a knitting Q&A, and I'm literally just filming another one right now about projects for 2026, yarn that I got on my trip, and what I made on my trip, so all kind of jumbled into one. I think I'm going to start with what I made on the trip, what I bought on the trip, which is like low-key kind of disappointing, I'm not gonna lie, and then I'm going to do my projects of 2026 as far as I have them so far. So, okay, we're gonna start off first with this shearling hat. I think it's the beanie number 6 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. It looks like this. Should I just keep this on the whole time? I think I will keep this on the whole time. I need to advertise for you guys. It's not even my pattern, but I think it's kind of cute. So this is the I honestly forgot what yarn it is, but you can get like the Teddy yarn, I think, for this. Just any Bousel, I think that's, or Bousselet yarn will be good enough. And then this is the Atlas by Sandnes Garn. I held two together. So I used one ball of this and one ball of this, and I kid you not, this was a zero waste project. Okay, nothing was wasted. This whole ball of yarn got used in this process. And this whole ball of yarn, I literally had maybe 2 meters left or 1 meter left of this yarn. And it was done, okay? I didn't even get to do the I-cords double. I only did them single because I just didn't have yarn. And also my friend Lucia, she did it that way. So shout out to her. She was honestly the inspiration behind this project. This is like how many times I've shouted at her out, but she honestly is that girl. So thank you. And okay. So next I have this Filconala yarn, the Peruvian Filconala or Lana, something like that. But it's in this orangish colorway. I don't know if the light is helping you see it or not, but it's the Outlandish bodice. I started this like 3 days ago, and this is what it looks like so far. It's just the strap part and the back. And I'm also working on another part of the back, and then the other strap is also done. So I have to make the 2 front parts, and then also as part of my knitting purchases, I bought clasps for it, if I can find them. Oh, here it is. I bought these little Scandinavian clasps for them. Oh my gosh, wait. I hope this opens properly. Because it's supposed to be like a bodice, and also Outlander themed, so historical-ish. Also, I just love these sweater clasps. So let me, oh, this is what they look like. Oh, but yeah, so they're just going to be attached all the way down. I got 8 of them. I'll probably end up using 7. I just wasn't really sure because I'm not done with it. I don't know how long it's going to be. But I usually like to have more because I didn't want there to be any gaping. So maybe I'll use all 8, maybe not. All right, and then this is the Varde yarn by, this is the brand. Wait, I don't know if you can see it. It's Hillesvag Ulla Verfabrik. It's a Norwegian brand though. I hope you can see that. I used this, but in the name was Luna. I don't really know what the actually I didn't know what the difference is. Okay, so this is Renwool, but this is Norsk wool, so I still don't really know what that means. I guess like this is from Norway, this is from, okay, wait, hold on, let me look up what is Renwool. Okay, let's see. Oh, it just says all wool. I guess it means all wool in Swedish, I think. But yeah, I was just gonna make another one of these in the Dagmars in this color because I really wanted to make one in green. So yeah, I got that. I think I got something else at that store, but maybe not. Okay, I don't really remember. Maybe I already started. Wait, what else did I get from the store? Oh, it was the socks, but I'm already wearing those socks. It's not hand knit socks, it's just wool socks. But yeah, I was like, I bought 3 things, but I only bought those because my feet were really cold, because when my feet touch the snow, they're not really insulated and protected. So maybe I should knit some socks now that I think about it. But I feel like it still wouldn't be as like durable as the stuff that you buy from the stores for the most part. Okay, next is my mom bought this yarn from the thrift store. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you what it is. Oh no, I can. It's called Willow and Lark. But it's a superwash merino wool. Honestly, I am not really into superwash anymore. I just wish it wasn't superwash. I have this knit in a brown color too, but it was a totally different yarn. It was like a merino from Australia, from Korea. So, but yeah, it's just in this gray colorway. I'm not really into gray, honestly, but I just knit this because I literally ran out of yarn. I had nothing to knit with besides my mom's thrift store yarn when I was just like going on the plane. So I needed something that worked. This works. So yeah, I also like destashed a lot of my yarn. That's why I have not really that much to knit with right now. So yeah. All right, next is this petite knit, like a it's for stockings. So I made her December stocking. It's just a leather strap that you put around it. I got that because I have an extra one. I have one that I use like scrap fabric and a Norwegian pattern ribbon to do that with. I think I showed it in another video, but for this extra one, I didn't have anything. Okay, I think that's everything I bought. Yeah, that's literally everything I bought. It's not that much. I intended on buying more because it's a better deal here, and also I use more of like the Norwegian and Danish yarns. Sadly, I was not able to buy more yarn. First of all, it's like the holiday time, and also stores are closed on Sundays on top of that, so it was a little bit hard. I couldn't find stores that were open. I had 2 hours. No, I had like an hour and a half today before my flight, and today was the first day that stores were open because it was the 27th, and I went to the store. I went straight to the store and I bought that green yarn. But I walked out of that store and then I was like walking around a little bit, going to like, I don't know, secondhand stores because I really needed to get a pair of leather mittens with like shearling, something like this inside of it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find that. And the reason I need mittens that were not knit by me is because in extreme cold, I think like right now it's negative, I think 15 degrees Celsius. In extreme cases like that, I just don't think that those mittens keep my hand warm. Even like the Matryoshka ones that are double stranded and everything, the cold air will just go right through. I need something that is not permeable with the cold air. So the leather ones were something I wanted to buy, but I couldn't find any. So I did not get that, but I got the socks though. So we take the wins when we can. Okay, what else was I gonna talk about? So yarn shopping. Oh, here's some of the stuff that I wanted to buy. So my project plans for 2026. Let's pull up my Ravelry that I honestly don't use that much. Let's see, hold on. But I had like a whole list of stuff that I wanted to make and buy the yarn for here because most of them were like Danish or Norwegian yarns. Didn't happen. Maybe it'll happen later in the trip. You never know. But as of right at this moment, it did not happen. This is probably gonna last me 3 more weeks. This is like 3 more weeks of knitting. So hopefully, oh, by the way, I have this story to share. So when I was, gosh, this is such a disorganized video. When I was in Stockholm, I was trying to find the Fonte Mongolia 3 yarn, which is probably not something you guys have heard of. It's like a very oddly specific yarn that Sedna Yang uses in her pattern, the Beja, the Tartan Beja. And it's a vest that I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Okay. Wait. Aha. It looks like this. So she uses the Fonte Mongolia 3, which is not a brand I've ever heard of before she mentioned it. And so I had seen that there was a yarn store in another town in Sweden. I'm not going to name the town name, that had it. I went there, they didn't have it. So I came back. It was for the plot though, okay? It was for the plot to go to that town that I would have never gone to. And then I tried ordering it online from one retailer, and then the retailer was like, oh, sorry, we're actually sold out. And I was like, okay. So then I bought it from another retailer, and it was actually buy two, get one free, which was actually turned out really well because if you don't know, the yarn is from France, but I was ordering it through a US company. And so they obviously charged more for it, but because it was free shipping and the buy two get one free, it actually turned out to be less than a European price, which was really cool actually. It was a holiday sale, so that's why. And the only thing is they are out of one of the colors that I bought, so I think I might have to replace it with a similar shade. It's the blue. So, okay, that was a little story about that. So that's going to be one of my projects. I have that yarn hopefully coming at some point in time. Okay, outlandish bodice we talked about. That's a free pattern on Ravelry. You can check it out. Okay, so next is the terracotta sweater by Lanit. It's like the porcelain sweater, but terracotta. So I don't know if you can see here, but there's texture. It's not just like stockinette. And then the pattern goes there. It's drop shouldered. She holds it with mohair. So it's the, I think it's the tin line. I'm gonna find the actual pattern. Hold on. But okay, the reason I haven't bought the yarn for this project, and I've come across the recommended yarn a lot, was because I just didn't want to hold two together and I didn't want to use mohair. But I honestly think I'm gonna cave and just get it because I can't find a good replacement for it. Okay, here it is. It's the Sandnesgarn Tin Silk Mohair, the Sandnesgarn Tin Pure Gint. So it's a lace and a fingering weight together. But honestly, I could probably look at other people's projects and see what else they use. I did that, but still having a hard time finding something that I could use. All right, anyways, I don't know why that came out like a question though, but yeah, okay. Guys, this is unrelated, and this is something I may do in the future if I have enough leftover yarn. But look at this Matryoshka Christmas stocking. That is like something I would definitely do. I feel like if you watched my videos, you know that I would be doing that at some point in time. All right, okay. Okay, I also wanted to do this project, and I've also come across the recommended yarn for it a lot of times, but it also has mohair in it. And I was trying to find a replacement, but unfortunately, I feel like there's not a lot of yarns out there that give it this glowy, dewy effect that it comes off in pictures. I just won't wear a mohair, so I'm just trying to find a way to substitute. Maybe alpaca, but I feel like that's a little bit too soft. I don't know. I gotta figure that out hopefully soon because I think it's really pretty. It's the Northern Augustins number 9. Okay, what else? So I also want to do the unicorn tapestry pattern by Star-Crossed Knits. That's a really popular pattern. I can pull it up. Star-Crossed Knits unicorn. It's not saved on my Ravelry queue for some reason. I have no idea why. So I always forget that I intend on making it. So this is actually Cascade yarn, but Cascade is an American yarn brand, so I might just like get that in the US. Because it just wouldn't be cheaper to buy it here. All right. I also want to buy some silk yarn or something that's similar to that because I want to make a qipao dress, like a Chinese style dress. I want to make a pattern for that. I think that would be really elegant. Like, can you see it? Can you picture it? I also have like the clasps, the I think, what are they called? I think maybe frog clasps or something, the ones that they have on the qipaos. I want to do something that goes across like that. Okay, I had to pause the video because I needed to collect the 2 other projects that I have in my queue that are not actually on my Ravelry queue. They're just like separate. But so one of them is the Alice Starmore Oregon Spring cardigan. I did the Oregon Autumn one last year. This is just the Oregon Spring. I would have to buy, so here's the problem. I would have already bought the yarn for it, but she's missing one color. Like I think it's out of stock. And also it's a little bit hard for me to gauge how much of each color I need because the pattern's not on there. Like it doesn't tell you the measurements. I have the kit, but also the kit doesn't tell me, I mean, well, the pattern card doesn't tell me how much of each yarn it gave me. And I didn't take a picture, so I actually have no idea. So I'm gonna have to do some guesstimations. I could just buy the kit, but I want to use up all the yarn I have. So I'm not gonna do that. Also, I already have the pattern card. So yeah, I really want to make that though. I want to make another Starmore design. Like I'm itching to do one. And the thing I like about that one compared to like other ones is it has the thicker, the bigger sleeves. So something can actually fit inside, because the other ones that I did, they can't really fit anything other than just like a thin t-shirt. So if I'm wearing like a dress or something underneath, I can't wear it. So that kind of makes me not wear them as much as the Oregon Autumn one. I'm also going to do a video of all the Starmore pieces I've knit, because obviously I have a community of Starmore loving people out here. So shout out to you guys. And the last thing that I want to knit so far, okay, there's going to be more. There's definitely going to be more. But I want to make the Esther jacket by Petite Knit. And I was trying to find the yarn for that. I don't know if I could use that yarn that I showed you in the green to make that, but it's a little bit hard for me because I get a lot of different opinions on which yarn to use. So it's either going to be like an Aran or a bulky weight. It's just hard for me to find, like the gauge is different because she uses 2 strands together, like a DK and a fingering, to make it like the Aran weight. So I just need to find a good yarn to use for that, but I know I will soon. Okay, so I'm back home, but I didn't finish really my haul because I did end up buying more stuff than that. Like that was probably at kind of a halfway point of my trip. And so I thought I would update you now that I'm home with the whole pile of stuff that I actually did end up buying. Okay, so let's start with this. This is what I was working on in the last video, and it's my finished outlandish bodice. Hold on, let me put the clasps together so you can get a better look, because it looks kind of floppy when they're not. So it looks like this. So what I wish I had done with this pattern is pick up less stitches around both the armhole and the neckline, and actually just have made this strap shorter in general. So I'm not spoiling anything because this pattern is already free. I'm just kind of breaking down the construction in case somebody wants to knit this in the future. So basically what you do is you knit this whole back part, and then you separate off. So until here you put like a stitch holder, and then you knit up these straps, you knit up these straps, put these also on a stitch holder, and then you knit this panel, and then you graft these together after you knit the 2 panels. I unfortunately made the straps a little bit too long. I wish it came, I'll insert a picture of me wearing it. It's not like a great picture because I took it myself, so. But basically, I wish this was a little bit shorter, and also it said pick up 1 for each stitch along the arm and the neckline. I actually went back and I unraveled both of the arms because they were too loose with 1 per stitch. So I went and did like 4 out of 5 or maybe 3 out of 4 stitches. And also I used a very, very small needle size. Like I think I used a size 3 US. And because, so this whole thing is knit with this US 6, which is a 4mm. It suggested knitting this with a US 4 or 3mm. I found that to be way too floppy, so I had to size down. But even then, it was still pretty loose. I wish I was able to go back and undo this whole part, but the I-cord goes all the way down to here around, so I can't undo everything now that I know like what it fits. But I would definitely suggest picking up less stitches both around here, not for here. I would keep this one straight, but also size down with your needle size, like a couple sizes more. Like I said, I used the 3 US compared to my 6 that I originally used. I think you could even get away with doing a 2 depending on how tight you knit. I'm a pretty tight knitter, so that's just my little overview of that. Okay, next we have, I showed this yarn actually, but I started making the Dagmar with it. This is like 5 days worth of knitting, and you may be wondering how I did this in 5 days. My answer to that is I was at the airport for longer than usually people are at the airport for. I was at the airport for, I think, like 3 or 4 days out of the 5 days I was knitting this for. And like, to put this in perspective, the last 2 days I was at the airport for 40 out of the 48 hours. Okay, so at the airport or on the plane, because we had a lot of flight delays because of snow and other stuff, but mostly because of snow. And then I had like a long international flight home, so there was a lot of knitting time involved, a lot of sitting down and waiting. So this was, I literally started this on January 1st, so, and I had to stop because I ran out of yarn, and my mom had the other 2 balls of yarn with her, so she took them, and then so I started something else, which I'll show you in 1 second. Actually, might have to be a little bit more than 1 second because I have other stuff over here. Okay. So next I got this, I don't know how to say this. Is it Helholtz Uldspinderi? So I think that means wool spinnery in Danish. And I got this is one of their new colors. It's just this blue. I really like blue. And it's for the Esther jacket by Petite Knit. I think I have these silver snowflake buttons home, if I'm not mistaken. I actually have to go check on that. But if not, I really want to get silver snowflake with the Norwegian silver snowflake buttons for these. I think that would look really, really nice. Okay. Next, I got some Knitting for Olive pure silk. I got 7 of these because I want to make a qipao dress, like the Chinese looking dresses, and I want to make a pattern for it. So stay tuned. I'm really excited for that, actually. I've been thinking about it for a long time. All right, next up we got, oh, by the way, the yarn store I went to, they gave me a free tote bag, so I'm gonna include that in my video. Also, I wanted to do a favorite yarn stores from different places that I've been, like different countries or different like parts of the US that I've been to, and I think that would be really fun. So okay, so next is these 2 mohairs. Well, I have more than these 2, but these are the colors. And then I have these 2 Rauma garns. So this is by Knitting for Olive. It's the silk mohair, I think. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And then the Rauma garn Finul. So I got these 2 in Copenhagen. I also got the other 2 blue ones in Copenhagen. And the green, actually, because they have like a tax-free yarn store there. So it's called Sommerfluen. If anybody's interested, that's not from the European Union. You can get it tax-free. And then these Raumas I got in Svalbard, which is also like a tax-free area of Norway, but it has like different rules, so I got these for tax-free as well. And it's for the the terracotta sweater by Lynette. So yeah. By the way, Rauma changed their dye lot, so I actually have used this color before, but it was in the older dye lot, so it was a little bit lighter. So if anybody's wondering if something happened, yeah, the factory, I think, changed the dye lot, so now it's a little bit darker. So I went a little bit lighter with the silk mohair just to like make the sweater a little bit more bright. All right, next, okay, I don't even know why I'm showing this. It's a wool sock that I got from a department store in Norway because my feet were really cold because of the snow, and I also didn't have thick socks, so I had to buy some for Svalbard. So this is that, also tax-free. Let's see, did I show these mittens? I don't know if I did, but these are the ones that I knit on my trip. It was with the leftover yarn from these Korean mittens, but basically the same pattern. So let's see what else I have in here. I think that's it for this bag. This is just like other versions of the same yarn. Okay. Here's the comic book I never showed. I think I've mentioned buying it. Oh, here's a playbill for, I went to Beetlejuice. I actually did rush tickets, which is basically when you stand outside the theater like before it opens, and then like right when it opens, the day of, if they have any extra tickets, they sell them to you for a discount. And I ended up getting those, I got front row tickets, like front row, for $40, which was like cheaper than any other ticket that they sold that day. And I don't know how I literally just walked up to the theater. I didn't even plan to rush. It just happened to be 10 a.m. when I walked over there. And then they just opened and there was like one other girl ahead of me in line. And I got front row rush tickets, which was pretty cool. Okay. So this is the comic I bought from Midtown Comics. I really wanted this one for a long time. It's the Batman and Robin Year One. I was paying attention closely to when this would release, and actually released like on one of the days that I was in New York, so I was able to get it. And I think maybe, do I have any like photo booth photos in here? Oh, no, I don't. Okay, so I took some photo booth photos when I was in Stockholm and Chicago, I think, but they're somewhere else. Oh my gosh. Oh no, wait. Okay, never mind. This is a yarn that I got from that Fonty brand, but I had to order it online. I don't know if you guys remember me saying that I had to go to, well, I didn't have to go, but I went to this city in Sweden that I hadn't heard of before, and then they didn't have it, and then I ordered it online, and then they actually messaged me back saying that they didn't have it as well, and then I ordered it in the US, and it was like buy 2 get 1 free, so there's 9 of these, so I actually got like 3 of these for free, which was really awesome. Finally, I was able to get that yarn for the Beja, the tartan Beja by Sedna Yang, so I'm really excited for that. Okay, I don't think I showed this either. No, I didn't. Okay, because I got this in Stockholm, and it's the Hjalmagarn Fivel for the Nordic mix sweater, and I was like kind of debating back and forth if I wanted to knit that or not, so I actually did end up knitting that, and I will show you 1 second. Okay, so I started this on the plane today on my way home, and this is what it looks like right now. And I added this bottom ribbing, which is like the 2 purl 2 knit, just because I don't like a rolled bottom or like a rolled hem in general. So yeah, I did that. I saw some people on Ravelry did it as well, so it's not just me. Okay, next I got these, you can barely see them, but they're the mini 6-inch Chaigu twist cables. I got them in Chicago, and the lady at the yarn store, she told me that you can actually get a lifetime, or Chaigu gives you like a lifetime warranty, so if you send a picture of your needles that broke or your wires that broke, they'll send you new ones. But I didn't know that, and I also like needed them ASAP, and I threw away my old ones, so I didn't know if they would actually give me the pair. So I just got these wires as well. Very much needed, because these are the ones that broke when I was knitting those mittens I was showing you. Okay, and then in here, this is literally a Chaigu thing. I have a photo booth photo that I took in Stockholm from a vintage store. You don't need to see it that closely, it's a little bit embarrassing, but okay. And then next, I got this Miffy that I've wanted for a really long time, like the Dutch Miffy, because I was stuck at the airport for a very long time. I was like, you know what? We gotta do something that makes the day brighter. And so Miffy came along for that journey. If you can't tell, I'm a Miffy fan. Oh, okay, hold on. And then next, I got these cookies from the plane that I was, this is so unserious. Why am I showing you like airplane cookies? I actually really like these like Scottish shortbread cookies. So I took a couple of those. All right, some postcards that I got from Stockholm as well. A lot of this stuff is from Stockholm. I feel like I spent a lot of time there. And then also buttons that I got. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I just, oh, did one of them fall? Oh, here it is. I saw that they have the House of Cards theme look, which I really like, and I also knit a sweater like that. I think they're really versatile buttons though, because they're brass, so you can do a lot with them, as in I can do a lot with them. But okay, next I just have to show you this. It is a coat that I got from a secondhand store in Stockholm. It's a fur coat, just looks like this. But yeah, secondhand find. I was really tired of wearing a puffer jacket on the trip, so I saw one of those in Oslo, but it was way too big for me, and I was kind of sad, so I was on the hunt for one of those ever since I saw it. And then I found that at a secondhand store, so I was really happy. Okay, next we got more comics. This is a free comic I got in a little free library, and it's actually also freely issued because, wait, no, this way. It's free comic book day comic, so double free. But it's a Spider-Man one. I don't read Spider-Man, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna read it, but yeah. I just thought that was fun. I got a free comic from Free Comic Book Day, and I was really upset that, okay, not really upset, but like I was a little bit sad that I wasn't around for Free Comic Book Day in order to get a free comic book. So I missed out on the opportunity to get one, but now I finally have a free comic book. Okay. Anyway, so this is another comic book that I got from Chicago, from Alley Cat Comics, which is literally in an alley, and I walked by it a couple times and I didn't find it because it was in such a narrow alley, but it was really, really cool. So this is what it looks like, and it's a hardcover. So inside it has, oh, there's my other photo booth photo. This, like after the dust jacket, like the hard shell looks like this. So that's pretty cool. I did not expect that. And then inside it looks like this. It's pretty. This is my first hard shell or hardcover comic book. So that is cool. And then here is also one of the vintage photo booths that I did at a vintage store in Chicago. So I don't know, I like doing those. They're really fun, actually. The vintage ones though, you can't see what you're, like the photo that you're taking of yourself. So you just have to like pose and just hope for the best. I mean, there's like kind of a reflection of on the black screen, so in a way I can kind of tell what I'm doing, but usually not. I think that's it though for the haul. I know I was saying that I didn't get a lot of stuff for the, like on the first part of the video, but then I realized that I needed to buy more yarn because 1, it was tax-free shopping, 2, it was cheaper because it's from those countries, and 3, I'm out of yarn at home, so this needed to happen because otherwise I would not have had a very productive knitting year. And by the way, I still don't think this yarn's gonna last me a very long time. Maybe it'll last me like March, April. That would be pretty good. But otherwise, I am going to have to probably order more yarn online. But that is okay. Also, I don't know if anybody else is like this. I don't really like buying yarn that's more than like 1 or 2 projects ahead of time. I don't like having yarn just like sitting there. What if I change my mind? You know what I mean? What if I change my mind on a project, or I don't know, I want to knit something else in the meantime. So these ones, I'm pretty sure I will get to all of them, because I don't know, this is probably for like what, 5 projects, 4 projects, and I already finished like 1 or 2 of them. So yeah, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.